Welcome back, everyone. What is on the lips of perhaps most Nigerians is the anti-corruption war of the President Muhammadu Buhari's government, and just how far that has gone. Since he said it's going to be a major aspect of his change agenda. Take a look at the recent bust by the EFCC. Maybe it will interest you. From the 3rd of February 2017, where $9.8 million was found in a property linked to the former NNPC boss Andrew Yakubu, to the 14th of March 2017, where 49 million naira was said to have been discovered at the Kaduna airport in Nigeria's northwest region, and the 7th of May, 448 million naira lying around in a closed shop at Aburud Shanj office in Victoria Island in Lagos. On the 10th of April 2017, different currencies found in another Bureau de Change office. This time around, in the popular Balogun market, the total money running to about 250 million naira. On April 11, 2017, 4 billion naira was said to have been linked to a former deputy governor of Niger State. And on the 12th of April 2017, perhaps the biggest bust by the EFCC and some of what they call the outcome of the whistleblowing policy, the discovery of about 13 billion Nigerian naira at a luxury apartment in the Ikoyi area of Lagos. Some people will say that money is somewhat a tenth of some budgets of some state. And some people will say that's in fact even more than the monthly allocation to some states in Nigeria stashed somewhere. And that gets us talking on the program. Well, my guests, Mr. Olaraju Suraj, Mr. Ken Okolibo, and Mr. Unisa Tanko have been weighing in on this one. Let me allow Mr. Okolibo to continue the line of thought that he had before we went on the break.
Okay, basically, you know, I don't understand why. I mean, when Shehu Sani made that very famous statement, it was clear that he was making it out of frustration, being a member of the APC. And what I expected the president to do is, if a report, an interim report has been sent, like was sent to the president, the letter that was written on the 17th of January by Malami was obviously written just to exonerate the SGF. Mago was just an addition. And it was very clear. He said that because three senators didn't sign the report, and because 3 senators didn't sign the report, they did not form a quorum. You are not the one to tell the Senate who forms a quorum or who does not form a quorum. What we have said is that you should have gone into the merits of that case. He refused to go into the merits of that case. He looked at it on a technical basis, and he wrote that letter. You remember that letter was written 2 days before the president left Nigeria. Should
they have even looked at that report? It was an interim report. You know, the full version of the report has not even come out. Would you listen or take into consideration an interim report indicting such a personality in government?
Shehu, that's why I said that the SGF should have been suspended based on the interim report.
Based on an interim report?
What the president should have done. But that's exactly what he's doing. He didn't wait for the final report. Okay, Shehu, what happened between January 17th and today?
That would have been a question to ask.
That's the question. I wish I could ask the president that what happened between January 17th and today? What changed between then and now? Because Shehu, I like your line of question that you cannot act on an interim report. But an interim report was very weighty. What like what Femi Odekule said, the SGF should have stepped aside, and that report should have been handed over to the EFCC. If the president was being sincere, I must tell you, as at that material point in time, it was obvious that it was a public opinion, the pressure that had come on the presidency, that they have taken this action. And let me tell you something, we keep forgetting that Malami has shown that he is not fit and proper to be our Attorney General. I don't know why people are refused to say it. I'll give you 3 instances. I talked about it on this program. Charles Adegu Phillips, that is prosecuting one of the Supreme Court judges, withdrew from prosecuting the Supreme Court judge because he said that Saleh Gambo and Riwanu Lawal were newly prosecute was filed. And he said, based on the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, that he has the power to file a newly prosecute in a 2.2 billion naira case. Yet he takes Saraki to court every other week. Adebola accused him of witch hunting him because he had gone into, he had served time in Kaduna or so when Ademola was the judge there. And I mean, now look at the case of Babachi Lawal. He wrote a report. I don't think he even consulted the president. Malami is not fit. He cannot be in that
so you are suggesting that the president should have sacked Mr.
Oh, he should have sacked Malami a long time ago.
Based on this,
I will even give more facts. It's just I don't want to board this program. I've done a research on all the things that Malami has done. Don't forget that Malami was also a lawyer for the Unity Forum senators against Saraki. I'm not holding brief for Saraki here, don't get me wrong. But that was even before he was made a minister. Malami is acting with too much of emotions to be our AGF. Our AGF should be one that should act without fear or favor. That's exactly what an AGF should be. An AGF is very powerful, very, very powerful.
So are you saying that the AGF, the Attorney General, may have misled the president
completely?
In the case of Babachi Lawal?
He is supposed to be sacked like Babachi Lawal is going to be sacked.
Let me bring Mr. Suraj. You've been following the issue of this anti-corruption war. What has changed between when Mr. Malami, Abubakar Malami, wrote his report to the president and gave the SGF a clean bill of health, and now what has changed? Yeah. Any new information, maybe?
No, with respect to Babashir's case, or with respect to the fight against corruption?
With respect to Babashir's case.
With respect to Babashir's case, like my brother said, it is obvious this was, like I said earlier, it's very difficult to take any serious action immediately on the basis of the report that was forwarded by the Senate. And then there was a need to write a response to the Senate. What is expected was for the executive to have done further investigation. If within the further investigation, because the letter from the president did said it was an interim report, it was not signed by the majority members of the Senate committee, and then that Babashir was not given fair hearing. And when you listen to Shehu Sani speaking on the floor, he didn't say we invited Babashir. He said the SGF was invited. There's a difference between SGF, Babashir as SGF, and Babashir as a person. So the doctrine of fair hearing was not given. So probably subsequently, an internal investigative process was undertaken by the president that has clearly indicted Babashir. And that probably informed the need. Because an advantage was just taken with the NIA case, so that Babashir is not isolated and probably within the political circle. Trust the political elite.